Dr. Bliss really loved working here, and when he was 94 and he was dying, his last words that his son remembers were, "I love the Chinese people."
Perched at 800 meters on Fuzhou's outskirts, Kuliang cradles Pacific-spanning memories in its misty clouds. Since the mid-1800s, doctors, teachers, and engineers from the United States settled here, building lifelong friendships with the locals. Yet Kuliang was more than a summer retreat. It became a spiritual compass and launching point. From its misty peaks, these Americans fanned out across Fujian province, infusing the ethos of cross-cultural solidarity into grassroots service. Kuliang, therefore, grew into a living lexicon of civilizational dialogue and a vibrant museum of people-to-people diplomacy.
We've opened a new museum here in Kuliang in the mountains outside of Fuzhou. And it's a museum that tells the story of families who lived in this area, but who spent the summers here. And you can see all the people who have lived here and whose stories we collected. I'll take you for a tour.
Edward L. Bliss was born in Newburyport, Massachusetts in 1865. He received his PhD from Yale University in 1891. In September 1892, he was sent to China.
This is Dr. Edward Bliss. He came here in the late 1800s to teach Western medicine to the local Chinese people. And he spent most of his active adult life here, teaching students and doing other important things, including making a vaccine for animal plague. He was one of the first to develop this vaccine that kept the animals from dying every few years.
Edward Bliss served in Shaowu, a city situated in the inland region of Fujian province. He initially established a clinic at the east gate of Shaowu. In 1897, he secured a grant to construct a new hospital opposite the East Gate Church. It marked the first Western hospital in Shaowu. From 1915 to 1921, another hospital on Gongda Street was built near the north gate of Shaowu, overseen by Dr. Edward Bliss. It boasted 5 buildings, 2 general wards, 16 specialized wards, medical and surgical departments, and so on. At that time, it was the largest and best-equipped hospital in Shaowu. 2 buildings of the hospital still remain today.
So Fu Yihua was a single man, but when he was here, he discovered the love of his life, May, and she accompanied him through his time in China. She taught children in school. She taught both girls and boys.
In 1901, Edward Bliss met May, who had arrived in Fuzhou from San Francisco in 1898. The letters recommending her were very interesting, of which one author observed that she was perhaps too delicate and charming.
When he wanted to marry her, he didn't know how to do it. He was too shy. So one day he finally, after 2 or 3 years, he got the nerve to ask her, and she said, "I'll tell you tomorrow." And she sent him a note, and the note said, yes. They married, they had children, and spent many wonderful years here.
Edward Bliss traversed the hills and rivers of Shaowu during his rounds. In those tumultuous times, he single-handedly embodied the essence of a Peace Corps, providing medical services to 2 million people in the region. He mastered the local dialect, rescued pregnant women in distress during childbirth, founded schools, established clinics, imported superior livestock breeds from the United States to set up dairy farms in Shaowu, fought against the plague, and pioneered immunization against rinderpest. The people of Shaowu revered him as Doctor of Blessings, a title that still resonates today. Outside Shaowu City, several stone arches stand sentinel on the hill. Dr. Edward Bliss traveled back and forth through these stone arches countless times. His son, Edward L. Bliss Jr., was born in Kuliang. He compiled a book about his parents' life in Shaowu, titled Beyond the Stone Arches.
Some of you may remember Walter Cronkite as a famous news journalist on television, and he didn't write his own news. It was Dr. Bliss's son, Edward Jr., who wrote the news for Walter Cronkite. Here they are in Fuzhou together. There were 3 children, and they had a wonderful childhood here.
After marrying and raising children in China, enduring the grief of losing distant relatives and friends, witnessing the horrors of war, and ultimately leaving China, forced by the political circumstances, Edward L. Bliss peacefully passed away in his sleep on January 22, 1960. However, he still dreamed of returning to this land one day, until the end of his life.
Dr. Bliss really loved working here, and when he was 94 and he was dying, his last words that his son remembers were, "I love the Chinese people."